And while we are rightly focused on the crisis unfolding around Ukraine, we must not lose sight of how dangerously close Iran is to becoming a nuclear-armed state. For we know that a nuclear-armed Iran would pose an unacceptable threat to U.S. national security interests, to our allies in Europe, and to overall stability in the Middle East. As someone who has followed Iran's nuclear ambition for the better part of 3 decades, I'm here today to raise concerns about the current round of negotiations over the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action and Iran's dangerously and rapidly escalating nuclear program that has put it on the brink of having enough material for a nuclear weapon.
So he's doing great, right? He's just like, oh, I got papers. I got a poster board. I got a poster board that has a 3-dimensional graphic to it. We put a cloud background on it. Hey, Gina? Gina's the assistant. Hey, Gina, can we change the cloud background a little bit? Yeah, it's a little bit too ominous. Let's tone down tone this down. Let's put a radioactive symbol on the bomb, but put them in Iranian colors because they're the ones that are trying to get a nuclear weapon. It's not like we have one. I mean, you know, we got 3,000, but it's not like we have one, right? It's not like that. Hey, I got an idea. Why don't instead, and before we kill anyone, why don't we declare landmines a Schedule 1 narcotic and declare a drug war and take over Cambodia and say, sorry, you guys have allowed us to plant landmines under your ground, and even though 7 people die every day, and we had 50 years to do something about it, that the government was just busy. You know, we're busy. Falkland Islands, guys, you remember that? Yeah. Those who don't remember only don't remember because we did such a good job. We've been saving you. Pews. In space. Bam. So, I'm saying if we can declare this as a fentanyl crisis, we go over to Cambodia, fucking send drones in to look for landmines that we left. This is a job for the military. This is badass. If you were to be killed because you went to Cambodia to pull up the landmine of some 50-year-old goddamn redneck who someone said thank you for your service for doing that to, and it took us this long to finally wake up about what's happening in the world, I would say thank you for your service. I would fucking do that. Some of you guys are like, James, I would do that. I'd be like, hey, thank you for your service, dude, who just came back from Cambodia and had to pull out a bunch of fucking landmines because the psychopaths that made you say thank you for your service put them there. And now they're yelling from their fucking couch thinking wrestling's real, insisting that Trump maybe should really consider taking him out. Why doesn't he have a one-on-one brawl? And the answer is because fucking Musk and Putin challenged Musk. Putin said, yeah, if you want to go hand to hand, I'll do it. You guys don't remember that, do you? This is before the cheating of the video games. Guys, this is not what you think it is. Government is not what you think it is. Countries are not what you think they are. All that matters is that
3 to 4 weeks.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters. I just need someone to notice that I just happened to hit pause right before he said 3 to 4. That's pretty cool. Yes, Menendez said this in 2022, and you know what else happened? I don't know, James. What else happened? This happened. 2 years later, Senator Bob Menendez was... Excuse me. To need oranges on the air. 2 years later, Senator Bob Menendez was convicted on July 16, 2024 by a federal jury in Manhattan. He was found guilty on all 16 counts brought against him, including... drumroll please. Bribery. Accepting cash, gold bars, a luxury car, and other gifts. Number 2, honest service wire fraud. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, wire fraud. Number 3, extortion under the color of official right. Wow, that sounds fancy. It's like, it's the Royal Order of the Blue Naval, right? And you're just like, do you mean naval? It's like, yeah. The blue innies and the blue outies. And you've got the The color of official right, extortion. Number 4, conspiracy to commit bribery, wire fraud, extortion, and obstruction of justice. Number 5, acting as a foreign agent for Egypt without proper registration. Looking at you, USS Liberty. And finally, obstruction of justice. The conviction stemmed from evidence that he and his wife accepted substantial bribes, including nearly $480,000 in cash, 13 gold bars worth around $150,000 from Mercedes-Benz in exchange for political favors such as steering $300 million in U.S. military aid to Egypt and intervening in legal and policy matters beneficial to foreign governments like Egypt and Qatar, not Qatar, Qatar. Qatar is actually a republic south of Qatar, and they get away with a lot of shit because people are just like, no, you're talking about my brother Qatar. We're Qatar, and then my sister Sitar. She's kind of weird. Yeah, you want to do something funky? You should ask her. She's got an OnlyFans. He was sentenced to 11 years in federal prison while this was happening, while all this shit was coming down. And he insisted the whole time, nothing happened. I didn't do anything else. But guys, instead, what we have to do is we have to suck us up because they're 3 to 4 weeks away from a nuclear bomb. And this is think of the children. Someone should do something. Thank you for your service, and we will think, 'cause freedom is not free, 'cause we don't have a country. I don't think we're open. I don't think we are. It's so much bullshit that I don't think that we're validly open. I think that I know. You're just like, why does it have to, because I think it's interesting that Barack Obama and Trump both signed DPAs on 322. That's what I think is interesting. Not only do that, but the 322 was actually during the period where the Great Seal of the United States was not on the podium for at least 8 days and corresponded, I think it was like Pi Day until then, but it like culminated on 322 when suddenly FEMA switches. And I think we're under a new corporate. If you take DPA seriously, and I think we should, but we can't because we're too busy taking seriously that they're 6 months away from a bomb, right? But if you take DPA seriously, then you know for a fact that legally America could even close down the government and build a corporation and license the corporation that just harbors the trademarks of USA, United States of America, and the flag and the seal as corporate logos. And that by assigning these corporate logos, licensing them to an agency that falls under the moniker of federal government, you have a technocracy that's just running like a Target, just like you walk into Target and there's a Starbucks there, and that's our healthcare system, and there's a bathroom there, and that's our public works, and you can walk around the aisles, and those are our roads, and that all you're doing is just you're inside of a Target that keeps saying we're going to build you an iron dome because the wall isn't big enough, because now we need an iron dome because the space pews, don't you fucking move, space pews are going to get you unless we defend you from us. And all of us are walking around going, well, you're not shit-talking Mickey Mouse, are you? You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't shit-talk Mickey Mouse. I just wrote Black Eye Club. You can get it in stores right now. If you use the discount code Athena, you can actually get 20% off this baby. Feel free to check it out in the stores. Great book. Hope you check it out. Consider it. Someone else mailed me this, and you didn't sign your name, and I appreciate it. Looking forward to this. You guys know I love this Aztec stuff. Kind of into it. Pretty cool stuff. Looking forward to checking it out. So, there's no threshold. We have no, look, here's your bottom line. You have to fucking do this, politicians. We don't have that. As I've said before, I know, but as I said before, there's never, ever, ever been a scandal in the Electoral College. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, 0. Not once in the most important political election in the world where we have the most corrupt political parties in the world appointing people to fucking vote for you, and not once have we heard about a suitcase or a briefcase or a cell phone or a prostitute or some kind of like drug ring or some sort of like underground party or some kind of bribery scheme or even Senator Menendez, even just a mild conspiracy charge. Not one single conviction, but more importantly, not one accusation, not one woman coming forward saying the Electoral College raped me. I was stored as a satanic sex slave, and they made me wear these nipple clamps. And the reporter's like, why are you still wearing them? It's like, because I have trauma. That's why you shouldn't do that. And they made me wear these other things, and then they took me to parties, and they all the most powerful people in the world took turns making love to me because I was a satanic sex slave, and it was the Electoral College. Not once has that happened because it's a suggestion box. Do you think the warden would allow for any of the guards, for anyone at all, to have a discussion, or nay, to put a scope camera down into the suggestion box and actually look at what's inside, actually see who or what or how all these things are counted, and whether or not this actually created the peach fucking cobbler that's on the plate today? Is that how we got that? Or is it just more cherries jubilee? Because we are 3 to 4 fucking weeks away from total nuclear annihilation. And we voted for a professional wrestler who told you he's going to build an Iron Dome. But first we have to make fun of some trannies.